Hi everyone, welcome again to the Practical Psychologist YouTube channel. I am a clinical psychologist interested in uploading psychology-related content to share the knowledge I've gained over the years with fun animated videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for educational videos on all topics related to psychology, and also remember to press the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Let's start with a simple exercise. Close your eyes and think about that one bad or harmful habit you know you should change in your life, but cannot quite get yourself to gather the discipline and motivation to do so. Almost everyone should be able to think of that one thing that you don't want to address or even think about because it served the purpose of comforting you in some way in the short term. It could be smoking, sugar intake, inactivity and failure to get yourself to exercise, alcohol, drugs, a toxic relationship, or even cutting yourself to find temporary emotional relief. Famous psychologist Jordan Peterson describes the importance of finding and addressing that one thing in self-development if you are in a rut. He says, if you want to know something about yourself, sit on your bed one night and say, what's one thing I'm doing wrong that I could fix, that I would fix? You meditate on that, you'll get an answer, and it won't be one you want, but it'll be the necessary one. So, as we've just heard, it's clear how important addressing a bad habit is. Daily habits eventually accumulate over days, months, and years, and eventually define who we are and the quality of our entire life. But how do we begin to make the change? Often, long-term harmful habits can be incredibly difficult to change since we are so used to relying on it to soothe our uncomfortable emotions. One empirically validated and time-tested method is the pros and cons skill practiced in dialectical behavior therapy, or DBT. DBT is an effective form of therapy that puts particular focus on reducing harmful behaviors and managing extreme emotions. I will come back to explaining DBT in depth in another video, so please subscribe and turn the notification bell on if you want to be notified for when this video is released. Pros and cons is a skill specifically practiced in what is called the distress tolerance module of DBT, which focuses on managing very intense and uncomfortable emotions that often lead to behaviors that harm us in the long run, such as substance abuse, emotional eating, or even infidelity. With bad habits, you always have two courses of action. You either choose to do what you are used to doing and engage in the harmful habit, or you can decide to refrain from the bad habit and decide to choose a more sustainable, adaptive behavior. Pros and cons is a method we can use to decide between two courses of action. Let's take an example many of you might be able to relate to. It's something that I can certainly relate to. Imagine you just had the most stressful day. At work, you were yelled at by your boss unfairly and were blamed for not finishing your work perfectly. You leave work irritated, and on the way back home, there's an accident in the highway, so it takes you an extra hour to come back. When you get home, you have kids crying and a mountain of dishes to be cleaned. By this point, your stress level is sky high and willpower at an all-time low. You know you shouldn't reach into your liquor cabinet, especially after what happened the last time you drank. But you have a feeling like you need some kind of a relief. So, per usual, you fall into the old bad habit of having a drink, which leads to 2, 3, then before you know it, you black out, are hungover the next day, and are unable to make it to work again. The moment before you reach for the drink, or are about to do that harmful behavior that you know is harmful, is when you can use the pros and cons skill. First, there has to be an urge. An urge is a crisis when it is very strong, and when acting on the urge will make things worse in the long term. The first step is to make a list of the pros and cons of acting on your crisis urge, whether it be dangerous, addictive, or harmful behaviors like alcohol, drugs, risky sexual behaviors, cutting, overeating, or something else like giving in, giving up, or avoiding what is necessary to move toward a life that you want. Next, make another list of the pros and cons of resisting the crisis urge. Said in another way, make a list of pros and cons of tolerating the distress, that uncomfortable feeling, and not giving in to the urge. When making your lists, be sure to write down every single pro and every single con you can think of. Be thorough and take your time with this. Almost all of the time, if you are honest with yourself as you make the lists, you will come to see that the pros of tolerating the distress and not engaging in a dangerous or harmful habit always outweigh the benefit of temporary relief you get out of doing them. This might sound obvious to you when you are looking at the grid in a calm state of mind. It won't be so clear-cut when you are in a lot of emotional distress and you are desperately looking for a quick and easy way to relieve your suffering. So, it is super important to write out your pros and cons beforehand when you are in a calm state of mind and carry them with you at all times. You can put them in your wallet, your handbag, your pocket, wherever. This way, you have easy access when you do get emotionally distressed. Also, make sure to rehearse your pros and cons over and over again. Master them and get to know them like the back of your hand. This way, if you really know them, you won't have to relearn them in the midst of an emotional spiraling episode. When an overwhelming emotional crisis hits, your first line of defense is to get out your list, read it over again, and review your pros and cons. Take a brief moment amidst the chaos to imagine the positive consequences of resisting the urge. Imagine what it would be like tomorrow morning if you did not drink. Imagine what you would be doing in 5 years if you did not drink. You could imagine the close, loving relationship you have with your children. You could imagine feeling refreshed every morning you wake up. You could imagine getting that promotion that you've been wanting for years. After that, you could think about the negative consequences of giving into the crisis behavior. Think in vivid detail of what it's going to feel like waking up tomorrow morning hungover. What is it going to feel like being emotionally distant from your kids 5 years from now? Think about exactly how it's going to feel calling your boss once again to say you won't be coming in and to not get that promotion. Lastly, remember the past consequences when you acted on the crisis urge. You may have vivid and painful memories about what it was like the last time you drank, the last time you cheated on your spouse, the last time you cut yourself. As painful as it might be to think about the painful things that have happened in the past, this may be a very strong motivator in keeping you from engaging in the dangerous behavior. By reminding yourself of the past consequences, you can reinforce the fact that giving in to the urge will only lead to more pain and regret. Use those memories as a reminder of why you want to break this bad habit and create a better life for yourself. Now, I want to emphasize that using the pros and cons skill doesn't guarantee that you will always make the right choice in the moment of crisis. It's a tool that helps you make a more informed decision and increases your chances of resisting the harmful urge. However, if you do end up giving in, it's important to be compassionate with yourself and not beat yourself up over it. Remember that breaking a bad habit takes time and effort, and setbacks are a normal part of the process. In addition to the pros and cons skill, it's essential to build a support system around you. Share your goals and struggles with trusted friends, family members, or a therapist who can provide guidance and encouragement when you need it most. Surrounding yourself with people who understand your journey and want to see you succeed can make a world of difference. In conclusion, the pros and cons skill from dialectical behavior therapy is a powerful tool to help you break a bad habit. By carefully considering the positive and negative consequences of both giving in to the urge and resisting it, you can make a more conscious and informed choice. Remember to create your pros and cons list when you're in a calm state of mind, carry it with you, and rehearse it regularly. And don't forget to lean on your support system for guidance and encouragement along the way. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you found the information valuable. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with others who may benefit from it. As always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more psychology-related content. Stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.